The unthinkable has happened. France, once one of Russia's staunchest rivals, is now reaching out. Moscow confirms contacts with Paris following French President Emmanuel Macron's most stunning call yet, the urgent need to resume relations with Russia. The Kremlin has officially taken note. Russian President Vladimir Putin's spokesperson Dmitry Peskov confirmed that contacts have indeed taken place. Peskov added that if both sides desire, this could allow dialogue at the highest level to be established rapidly, a speed almost unheard of in recent European diplomacy. This is seismic. Macron's statements have appealed to the Kremlin, a signal that Paris is willing to reconsider decades of tension and rivalry. Paris has even re-established technical communication channels, a first step towards thawing one of Europe's coldest conflicts. Why does this matter now? Europe is at a crossroads. Energy crises, war in Ukraine, and a fractured NATO have left the continent searching for stability. Russia, long isolated politically and economically, now sees a hand extended from one of the European powers it once clashed with the hardest. A restored dialogue could reshape European security architecture. Macron is proposing not just conversation, but a new framework where Europe and Russia might engage on security issues, economic matters, and regional stability. Moscow, facing sanctions and geopolitical pressure, is likely watching these overtures with intense interest. The response from the Kremlin is measured but significant. Peskov noted that while Russia has not yet seen a full desire from France to open dialogue at the highest level, the fact that Macron's statements appeal to the Kremlin is already being seen as a historic signal. This is not just diplomacy, it is a shift in the geopolitical chessboard. Observers say the timing is crucial. With NATO tensions, the Ukraine conflict, and energy dependencies gripping the continent, France reaching out to Moscow could signal a potential pivot in European foreign policy. Russia, in turn, could gain a powerful European interlocutor at a moment when isolation has been its strategic vulnerability. For decades, Russia and France have been locked in political and ideological rivalry. Now, suddenly, the barriers are being tested. What once seemed impossible, dialogue, cooperation, even mutual security planning is being openly discussed, and Moscow, for the first time in years, is officially acknowledging it. The world is watching. Every statement, every technical channel, every handshake could rewrite the rules of engagement in Europe. Macron's bold move may be the start of a diplomatic recalibration, one that could alter alliances, security pacts, and the very balance of power in Europe. For Russia, this is a moment of opportunity. For Europe, a chance to stabilize a continent teetering on the edge. And for the global community, a reminder that in geopolitics, yesterday's rivals can become tomorrow's partners if the stakes are high enough and the timing is right. The unthinkable is unfolding. France reaches for dialogue and Russia answers the call. What happens next could reshape Europe forever.
For years, Europe and Russia have spoken in whispers of suspicion, diplomacy frozen under the weight of sanctions and open hostility. Now a crack appears in the icy silence. President Emmanuel Macron is stepping forward, urging European leaders to risk the thaw and reopen direct talks with Moscow. The question hangs in the air: can dialogue survive decades of mistrust? In an interview with Germany's Süddeutsche Zeitung, Macron revealed that he had already invited several European counterparts to consider restarting diplomatic engagement with Russia, a move that some allies believe may be premature. Macron acknowledged the resistance. He said some leaders felt it was too early to send diplomatic advisors back to Russia, as France has already done. But his argument was blunt: geography doesn't change. Whether we like Russia or not, it will still be there, Macron said, calling Moscow Europe's neighbor and insisting the continent cannot outsource its security dialogue to others. The French president says Europe must reclaim strategic independence, reopening talks with Russia without being naive, without pressuring Ukraine, and without allowing third parties to dictate the conversation. Macron even suggested a timeline: He said it would be reasonable for Europe to resume dialogue with Moscow as early as December, a striking proposal given the current climate. The Kremlin was quick to respond. Russian officials said Macron's comments were noted and welcomed. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said the statements appealed to Moscow, signaling openness to renewed engagement.
Действительно имели место контакты, это мы можем подтвердить, которые при желании и при необходимости помогут достаточно оперативно наладить диалог на высшем уровне. Пока каких-то индикаций о том, что это желание есть, мы не получали. Хотя мы обратили внимание на заявление господина Макрона о необходимости установления отношений с Россией. Мы давно говорили, что не сводить наши отношения до нулевого состояния нелогично, контрпродуктивно и вредно. И Россия всегда была сторонницей поддержания диалога, что, по нашему мнению и по нашей убежденности, может способствовать решению самых актуальных, самых сложных проблем.
This isn't the first step. Macron has previously confirmed that France has already re-established technical communication channels with Russia, quietly reopening lines that had gone dark. Macron has gone further, calling for a new European security architecture, one that includes Russia rather than isolates it. It's a vision that challenges the current posture of deterrence and confrontation. But this bold proposal comes shadowed by deep mistrust. In recent months, France and Russia have traded barbed accusations, each side warning of the other's dangerous intentions. Paris has repeatedly accused Moscow of anti-European schemes, from destabilization efforts to, at one point, even preparing hostile actions against Europe. Such stark warnings have pushed relations to the edge, teetering on the brink of a full-blown rupture.
Times of India videos, your daily dose of India and the world. Global news, different views, and sharp analysis.
Pressure of expectation from your fans, your supporters.
That has often served as a backdrop for several Bollywood.
You're not a brute majority anymore if you individually take out Tera.
Making sense of global conflicts. Tracking the new emerging world order.
Strike on Israeli military bases.
A multi-pronged.
To stay out of harm's way as Israel started bombing targets across.
Understanding changing alliances in a polarized world. Tune into TOI videos for all this and more. Click on the bell icon to subscribe and never miss an update.